Truth is the foundation of life. Have you ever stopped to think about how lying can turn entire lives into chaos? A false word can destroy reputations, separate friends, shake families, and harm entire communities. The commandment "do not bear false witness" goes much deeper than simply avoiding telling lies. It calls us to be guardians of the truth and promoters of justice. In this 20-part series, we will explore how this commandment is not just moral advice, but a call to transform lives and build a more just world. The weight of words. Words have unimaginable power. They can build bridges or destroy dreams. In this chapter, we explore the devastating impact of false testimony. Biblical stories, such as the trial of Jesus and the lies told to condemn him, illustrate how a false word can change the course of history. In addition, we address modern examples, showing how social media amplifies the impact of rumors and gossip. Here, we reflect on how every word that comes out of our mouths can carry eternal weight. Lying and its consequences. We delve into the consequences of lying. In addition to the emotional and spiritual losses, false testimony can cause profound social damage. We address stories of people who have suffered unjustly due to false accusations, as well as examples of those who have been consumed by the web of lies themselves. Here, we explore how the act of lying affects not only the target, but also the perpetrator, undermining their own integrity and relationship with God. Identifying false testimonies. Do you know how to recognize false testimony? It is not always obvious. Sometimes it appears in the form of exaggerations, omissions, or half-truths. This chapter addresses the various ways in which falsehood can manifest itself, from seemingly harmless gossip to major fraud. Using biblical stories and everyday situations, we reflect on the importance of being vigilant against any deviation from the truth. Keeping the truth in our hearts. What leads us to lie? Fear, envy, social pressure. In this chapter, we discuss how cultivating a heart committed to the truth can help us resist the temptation to bear false witness. Through practical examples and biblical teachings, we learn to identify our weaknesses and seek God's strength to live with integrity, even in the face of pressure. The truth that sets you free. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8 verse 32. In this chapter, we explore how the truth is a path to freedom. Lies can imprison us, but living in truth connects us with God and true peace. Through inspiring stories, we show how the truth can restore relationships, heal broken hearts, and bring true spiritual freedom. This chapter concludes the first part with a powerful reflection on the impact of truth in our lives. Overcoming the temptation to lie. Lying may seem like an easy way to avoid problems or gain advantages, but its consequences are always devastating. In this chapter, we explore the main reasons that lead people to lie and how to resist the temptations that arise in everyday life. Biblical stories like Ananias and Sapphira show how lying can have tragic results. We also share practical principles for building a life of integrity, even when the truth feels uncomfortable. Truth in relationships. The foundation of any healthy relationship is trust, and trust can only exist where there is truth. In this chapter, we discuss how false testimony can erode intimate relationships, friendships, and family bonds. Real-life stories illustrate how transparency and honesty are essential to maintaining authentic connections. We also discuss how to restore lost trust through sincere repentance and commitment to the truth. Dealing with conflict truthfully. Conflict is inevitable, but how we deal with it defines our character. This chapter explores how truth should be the foundation for resolving disputes, avoiding the use of lies or manipulation. Drawing on examples of biblical mediation and principles of justice, this chapter offers practical strategies for dealing with conflict in a way that promotes reconciliation and peace. Witnessing the truth before God. As Christians, we are called to be a light in the world and to live in a way that glorifies God. In this chapter, we discuss the role of Christians as witnesses to the truth, even in challenging circumstances. Stories of martyrs and those who have stood up for the truth in extreme situations inspire reflection on how our faith strengthens us to face any situation with integrity. Building a culture of truth. The commandment, "Do not bear false witness," is also a call to transform society. In this final chapter, we reflect on how each of us can contribute to a culture where truth is valued above all else. Whether in our families, workplaces, or communities, small acts of honesty can have a lasting impact. We close the series with a call to action, that each of us choose to live as a defender of the truth, inspiring others to do the same. The social impact of truth. In this chapter, we explore how truth builds healthy communities and prosperity. We show examples of societies that have thrived through transparency and fairness, in contrast to those that have been undermined by systemic lies. As Christians, we are challenged to be agents of change in these spaces, promoting truth in everything we do. Facing the consequences of telling the truth. Sometimes, telling the truth can come at a high personal cost, such as losing friendships or facing opposition. This chapter explores how to deal with these difficulties, drawing inspiration from biblical examples of courage. We also discuss how God honors those who choose the truth, even in the midst of adversity. Lying is a tool of the enemy. The devil is called the father of lies, and in this chapter, we examine how lying is used as a weapon to turn people away from God. Learn how to identify and combat these evil strategies, standing firm in the truth that liberates and builds our faith. Teaching the next generation about the truth. How can we raise a generation committed to the truth? This chapter addresses the importance of teaching children and young people the values of honesty and integrity. We offer practical tips for parents and spiritual leaders to cultivate these principles in their young people. Truth in business and work. The workplace is one of the places where the temptation to lie can be strongest. In this chapter, we discuss the importance of being an example of integrity in the workplace. Success stories of companies that have placed honesty above profit show that following God's principles is worthwhile. Truth is a healing tool. Truthful words have the power to heal broken relationships and bring reconciliation. This chapter explores how applying the truth in love can restore families, friendships, and communities that have been wounded by misunderstandings and lies. Truth in Christian witness. As witnesses for Christ, we are called to reflect the truth in our lives. This chapter reflects on the importance of living consistently with the truth we preach. It also discusses how true witness attracts others to the gospel. Confronting lying in love. Correcting someone who is in error requires courage and wisdom. This chapter presents ways to approach lies with compassion, promoting the truth without causing division. Stories of reconciliation show how love should guide every confrontation. The eternal impact of living truthfully. Truth not only transforms the present, but also has eternal consequences. This chapter explores how living honestly reflects our obedience to God and impacts our spiritual heritage. Let us reflect on the reward that awaits us as we persevere in the truth. Choose to be a tireless defender of the truth. Be a light in a world full of darkness and inspire others to do the same. Share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel.